Good afternoon. John is away this week. The trial of a man charged with first-degree murder in relation to a death in Prince Albert almost 2 years ago began today. Quentin Gardiner is on trial for the murder of 41-year-old Norman Wenzel over Canada Day long weekend in 2024. Police and paramedics responded to Kemp Crescent for a disturbance shortly after 1 a.m. on July 1st, where Wenzel was found badly injured. He was taken to Victoria Hospital, where he died. Wenzel was a father of 4. Jury selection for the trial was completed early this afternoon. Gardiner has pleaded not guilty to the charge. A fire in the parking lot of Prince Albert Police Headquarters has been deemed suspicious. The service says they were alerted about the fire yesterday afternoon at about 4 o'clock. A wooden structure in the lot was on fire. Firefighters were able to quickly extinguish it. Police are asking anyone who saw anything suspicious or knows anything about the fire to report the information to them. The mayor of a Saskatchewan village devastated by last year's wildfire says she feels validated by a recent report analyzing the province's emergency response.
The general sense that I'm getting with the residents is, yes, someone heard us and someone understands us.
The Wildfire destroyed over 200 homes in Danair Beach near the Manitoba border in northeastern Saskatchewan. It was one of more than 500 wildfires that burned across Saskatchewan last year, forcing thousands of evacuations. On Friday, the provincial government released the findings of an independent report into Saskatchewan's wildfire response. It found the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency was not fully prepared, identifying staffing shortages and problems with emergency coordination. Issues Thompson says the community had been raising for months. Meanwhile, speaking from Paris during a trade mission, Premier Scott Moe made his first public comments on the report.
We need to do better as a Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency, and we need to do better as a government supporting the work that they do.
We need to start today by once again.
The independent report makes 11 recommendations, including stronger communication between government agencies and improved wildfire forecasting. The province says it accepts the findings and is moving quickly to implement the recommended changes. The water levels on the South Saskatchewan River in Saskatoon have increased significantly as expected in the last few days. This is what the river looks like since the Water Security Agency released water from the Gardiner Dam just over 1 week ago, with levels peaking on Thursday. Some Saskatchewan ferry crossings were closed due to the high levels, but the closures are changing hourly. With such a powerful flow going through the city, the Meewasin Valley Authority is issuing warnings to anyone around the river to exercise increased caution now and for the foreseeable future.
Even when the water level returns to a place where it's safe for people to get back out on the water, will be new sandbars potentially that aren't as settled and stable as they might have been for the last number of years. So just exercise an abundance of caution, especially when you're out there with little kids and with pets, about what seems like a safe edge of the water and can sink away beneath your feet.
The city of Saskatoon also issued a warning saying there is an increased risk for dangers on or around the river with so much water flowing at a fast pace. It also reminds residents that swimming is never allowed and that fire crews cannot head out onto the river to perform a rescue when extreme water flows exist, as it poses a danger to crews. Well, Jeff, we're coming off a rather lovely weekend.
It wasn't too bad at all. Now we have ourselves an unsettled week in store, Chantel. The possibility of some thunderstorm activity is certainly, especially as you roll into tonight and tomorrow. And then throughout the week, the instability is certainly there. So there's a chance of some showers even as we head into the weekend. So kind of an interesting pattern. We'll talk about the forecast later on.
Premier Scott Moe is hopeful a deal reached by the U.S. and Iran to extend their fragile ceasefire and end nearly 4 months of war will remain in effect. Few details on the agreement have been made public, but U.S. President Donald Trump said the Strait of Hormuz, which is a key passageway for global oil supplies, would reopen by the end of the week. He's also ordered the end of the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. Iran has said it expects all fighting, including in Lebanon, to end tonight. The deal also opens a 60-day window for all talks. The memorandum of understanding will be signed on Friday in Switzerland. Scott Moe says he's optimistic about the deal, but says the conflict has already changed the global economy in ways that could help Saskatchewan.
There's a number of supply chains that have been changed due to this conflict. We have been engaged by a number of countries that want to at least diversify some of that supply, whether it be things, products like oil and gas, products like uranium, or other products that Saskatchewan is essentially diversifying into, but have the opportunity to be pretty significant in Saskatchewan's economy in the years to come.
Two major impacts of the conflict on Saskatchewan have been the cost of fuel and fertilizer. The Premier speaking from Paris as he attends a European Defence and Security Conference. In addition to promoting Saskatchewan's usual trade opportunities in areas including agriculture and mining, the Premier is hopeful there's room for growth in the manufacturing sector behind both of those two major industries. He said that manufacturing expertise could open doors in the defence space.
And as we see countries all increasing their investment in the defense space, this is a very great opportunity for Saskatchewan to expand beyond commodities into that manufactured space.
The conference is part of a multi-country trade trip to Europe. Mo pointed to a new trade agreement between Canada and Czechia as proof of the role European trade plays in the provincial economy, with Saskatchewan exports to that country up significantly in the first part of the year. Saskatchewan's economy is flying high despite Canada being in a technical recession. That's according to a local economist who is warning about letting a month or two of poor results affect the overall outlook. The University of Saskatchewan economist Marc Pigeon says that Saskatchewan's economy faltered slightly this spring. But despite Statistics Canada reporting more than 6,000 job losses in the province in May, he says the billions of dollars being spent in potash and uranium mines, as well as the ag sector rebound, leaves Saskatchewan's economy in a good condition.
We have to be careful to kind of jump to conclusions based on 1 or 2 months of bad outcomes. The broad trend in this province is, I would say, still pretty favorable, mostly because we have a lot of very big investment projects that are still happening.
The unemployment rate in Saskatchewan was 6.2% in May, up more than 0.5% from April. A 27-year-old man is facing a string of charges after a stolen vehicle ended up colliding with another vehicle downtown last night. Police say it all began just before 7 o'clock in Saskatoon when police found a stolen vehicle at 22nd Street and Idlewild Drive North. Officers started to conduct a high-risk traffic stop when the owner of the stolen vehicle showed up and tried to remove the driver from her vehicle. The man in the vehicle drove off, almost hitting an officer before going through a red light and crashing into another vehicle at 22nd Street and 1st Avenue. That driver was sent to hospital. The man driving the stolen vehicle is facing theft charges as well as evading police and assaulting a peace officer. The 27-year-old woman who owned the vehicle is charged with obstruction. It's believed the two knew each other. The town of Biggar was in full celebration mode over the weekend. A parade made its way down Main Street as part of the annual Biggar Town and Country Fair Days. The weekend also featured fireworks, a car show, a circus demonstration, and many other activities. This year's fair was extra special for residents as it also celebrated the completion of Main Street's revitalization.
This weekend is kind of the roundup of our revitalization program. It started about 6 years ago, and it was about 5 years ago that we did a revitalization fundraising drive, and we went from the north end of our main street to the south end. We were able to gain ownership of the old CN property.
The next big upgrade to Main Street is set to be a 4-story, 24-unit condo building. A groundbreaking ceremony for that was held following Saturday's parade. Still to come, celebrating startups in Saskatchewan. A look at what's helping to boost the province's business community. Local entrepreneurs and community leaders are celebrating startup businesses this week. The second annual Saskatoon Startup Week kicked off this morning. Organizers say the goal is to share skills and knowledge within the business community and support local entrepreneurs. The founder of Ethical Digital, which helps businesses with digital marketing and implementing AI responsibly, says it's also about recognizing the important role entrepreneurs play in our community.
Celebrating those who are really hustling, who are really trying to make big things happen is a really exciting time. And so this entire week is dedicated to the entrepreneurs and the ecosystems that are supporting them.
Saskatoon Startup Week runs until Friday. Legislators from oil-producing states and provinces met in Regina on the weekend to discuss the latest developments in energy and the environment. The group includes elected representatives from 14 states, along with Saskatchewan and Alberta. It's called the Energy Council, and it meets in private. One of the issues discussed at the Regina meeting was carbon capture.
Generally talking about oil and gas policy, new emerging technologies, environmental concerns, and ultimately, how we need to be supporting this industry as we move forward.
The organization also discussed the importance of Canadian energy to a North American energy plan. Still to come, the banner year for the Riders. So look at the success and what the team says is ahead. Well, Jeff, the start of the week looks pretty decent.
Well, yes, it does. And that's today, right? Because, yeah, things do start to get dicey starting tomorrow. And then we've got an unsettled situation right through the week, Chantel, into the weekend. And so that's not just for Prince Albert, but for much of the Prairie provinces. Basically, we got that cold Arctic air that was, hey, it's finally out of here. Well, there's a big blocking high off in Greenland, and that's preventing this cold air from really getting out of here. So it's going to back up a little bit, retrograde, going to slide back, do some backsliding. And as it does, temperatures are going to cool a little bit, and there's going to be some instability as well. And with that instability, the possibility of thunderstorms, and that is going to be something that's in the certainly in the forecast for tomorrow, maybe not so much the rest of the week, but we'll keep our eye on all of it. But the computer modeling indicating that, yes, there's a line of storms making its way out of particularly the northern part of Alberta into Saskatchewan, then in behind it, some more nasty weather. You can certainly see that impacting parts of the southern Alberta, southwestern Saskatchewan as we make our way into Tuesday. So it is an unsettled pattern, and it looks like it's going to stay that way for the rest of the week. 11 degrees with increasing clouds overnight in Spiritwood, a similar sky situation for the Battlefords. 12 degrees, 9 in Candle Lake, 9 in Birch Hills, 11 in Rostern. Clear skies in Nipawin and in Melfort. 8 degrees for Nipawin overnight, 9 for Melfort. But these locations likely to see clouds increasing as we make our way into tomorrow. And there you go. We've got ourselves showers and the risk of thunderstorms in some places. The Battlefords, a chance of a thunderstorm, maybe up to, between 5 and 10 millimeters of rain. Not as much rain expected in Spiritwood. 16 degrees there, 19 for the Battlefords. I forgot to mention that. Candle Lake anticipating some showers. 18 degrees, just cloudy, and 18 for Birch Hills. 17 with the possibility of showers in Rostern. Possibility of showers in Melfort, and 18 degrees, cloudy skies, and 21 for Nipawin on Tuesday. Now on to Prince Albert's details. Well, increasing clouds as we go through the evening hours. The winds out of the north at 20, and they back off in the overnight hours, but that doesn't last long. 9 degrees tomorrow or overnight, and then as we make our way into tomorrow, temperatures rise to 18 degrees. The winds don't increase a lot for the Prince Albert area, but there are places that are going to be seeing a lot more in the way of wind and unsettled conditions, a little bit nastier sky conditions as well. So 18 degrees tomorrow, sort of an even chance of some showers showing up. So we expect a little bit of rain, but maybe not a ton. And then on Wednesday, 17 degrees with cloudy skies, mainly cloudy conditions, 19 on Friday as well. And these temperatures are below seasonal. We should be in the low 20s for seasonal temperatures for Prince Albert. Friday, slight chance of some showers for Saturday and Sunday, basically around 60% chance of showers on both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, and Sunday, quite a cool day, 14 degrees, and it looks like it's the best chance of some showers through the weekend or the next 7 days, and then still a chance of showers on Monday and a high of 17. So as I was saying, a pretty unsettled pattern, and because of that cold air not being able to get out of Canada, it's like, darn you, Greenland, and you're blocking low. Looks like we're going to be seeing some cooler than seasonal temperatures hanging around for a while.
All right, we'll just have to be patient then, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Jeff. The Saskatchewan Roughriders kicked off their season taking down the BC Lions on Saturday.
We're at the BC 6 and a first and goal, looking to get their lead back. Under a minute to go. A look to the end zone. Touchdown again. Emelis.
Trevor Harris leading an 11-play, 87-yard game-winning drive in the final 3 minutes, capping it off with that touchdown pass to Samuel Emelis as the Riders come back to beat the Lions 31-27. Harris throwing for more than 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, all to Emelis.
These guys are unflinching. They're ready to play at any moment. We always believe in one another. I think that we're going to embody that all year. Hopefully not all of them will be this close and that dramatic, but just glad we were able to get it done.
In a situation right there, you can only control the response. You know, we're down points now. We got an opportunity to do something. We went out there and executed, you know, so, or, hey, we're backed up on, the 3-yard line. How are you going to respond to that? You know what I mean? So that would be the R factor.
This is the 7th straight season Saskatchewan has won its opener dating back to 2019. The Riders are on the road in Calgary Saturday to take on the Stampeders. It was almost 6 months ago the Saskatchewan Roughriders lifted the Grey Cup in Winnipeg. Saturday's home opener celebrated the victory again as the team unveiled its championship banner. Here is CTV's Donovan Mace with a look at how the green and white are preparing for the season.
As the curtain dropped to unveil the Saskatchewan Roughriders' 5th championship banner in Mosaic Stadium, down on the field, players focus already on the season ahead.
I did look up there at one point. I was like, oh, 2025, cool. But I did see an open space to the right of it as well.
And Gray has just turned green and white.
2025 now sits beside 1966, 1989, 2007, and 2013. The Riders' 4 previous cups. The unveiling of last year's banner, the final chance for an entire province to celebrate their team's Grey Cup win.
That was more, I think, for our fan base who deserved that. The guys were ready to play. I heard multiple dudes saying, hurry up, like, let's go. You know, we've been waiting long enough to play a game. We'll check that thing out forever now.
We do everything for them, you know. That was a nice thing to see the banner coming down and seeing the fan finally back in Mosaic Stadium after 6 months. So it was good seeing them, and obviously seeing the banner and giving them a win is nothing better than this.
For newcomers in green and white, the focus isn't on what already happened, but rather the empty space to its right.
2025, they got the ring and everything, that's cool, but we're in 2026 now. I need to focus on where I'm at.
While others may not even be able to tell you where the banner is.
I haven't even looked at it yet. I seen it one time when they was putting it up. I didn't look at it. I looked at the screen, and I just tried to focus back in, man, because been on a couple celebration things, and you can get punched in the mouth. You're just staring at that.
Even more important for this team than celebrating past accomplishments.
A look to the end zone. Touchdown again. Emelis.
Earning a W Saturday to begin its championship defense, as Saskatchewan has never won back-to-back Grey Cups. Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Saturday's home opener at Mosaic Stadium saw Rider fans enjoy their first taste of local tailgating. The Rider pep band greeting fans as they milled about outside Mosaic Stadium. It was a sunny day, allowing fans to visit and enjoy food and beverages. Many who took part saying it was a good time.
People being able to tailgate in the parking lots and cook up some food. I think it's gonna make things kind of awesome and fun. I think game days are always fun and have a lot of excitement, but I think with the new tailgate rules, I think there's gonna be even more excitement.
Tailgating will be open to Rider fans with a secured spot 5 hours before kickoff on game days. Federal officials say the toxic drug crisis in Canada continues to have devastating effects, despite a decrease in opioid-related deaths last year. The national rate of toxicity deaths was down by 23% in 2025. That was due to factors such as naloxone distribution and changes to the drug supply. Opioid-related hospitalizations decreased by 12%, but there were more than 5,600 apparent opioid-related deaths last year, an average of 15 lives lost each day. The number was higher in 2025 than a decade ago when the crisis emerged. In the UK, children under 16 will be banned from using certain social media apps early next year. Those apps include Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube. The government says the move is intended to protect young people from harmful content and excessive screen time. Canada recently introduced legislation that would force social media companies to block access for kids under 16. But some companies can obtain an exemption if they put adequate safeguard measures in place. Well, visitors to Prairieland Park in Saskatoon had an opportunity to go back in time over the weekend, Jeff, thanks to the return of Jurassic Quest. The immersive walkthrough experience features various life-size dinosaur animatronics. This is the second time the event has been hosted in Saskatoon. This year saw some new additions to the showcase, including underwater and ice age exhibits.
We want to come back with new experiences for the families so they can enjoy other elements just in addition to dinosaurs. So we're all about the dinosaurs, but we now have a 53-foot megalodon and all of the ancient ocean prehistoric sea creatures, and we also have, for the first time ever, our Ice Age assets.
Hardy added that he plans to continue bringing Jurassic Quest to Saskatchewan in future years. Some good times for everybody.
Why not?
CTV National News is next. Thanks for watching.